the air chair, and it's about air pressure, and it's about kids having a good time riding up and down in the chair. Basically, what you have is a large stainless steel cylinder. It's about 45 inches in diameter, and it has a clear Lexan piston inside, so when you're in the chair and you look up through the piston, you can see that it's only filled with air. There's no mechanism, there's no motor, there's no chains, there's no belts. It's only the air pressure that lifts you up. So I go in, I have to shut the door. It'll only work if the door is shut. So I'm going to sit in the seat, and I have to buckle my seat belt. The microcontroller that controls the fan knows whether or not the seat belt is buckled, just like it knows that the door is shut. Now it's waiting for me to push the buttons. I'm going to push the buttons. You hear the blower start up. And now what's happening is it's drawing the air out of the cylinder above me, and the ambient air pressure in the room is actually pushing the piston up. This is a good exhibit. It demonstrates that thing that we all talk about in science, that there's no such thing as suction. What's happening is the air in the room is pushing the piston up because the vacuum cleaner is drawing the air out of the cylinder above the piston. Now the exhibit, it's hit the limit switch. My ride is over. It was fun. I'm going to hit the ground. Most likely, if I were a kid, I would want to do it again. But most likely there's someone else waiting to do it, so it won't go the second time unless you leave and enter. You open the door. Now it's reset. I can go for another ride. Now that may look pretty simple, but it's very effective in managing a queue of 10 or 12 kids. They each take one ride. They know it won't go again until they leave and let the next kid in. But one of the big advancements we've made on this exhibit is we've managed the queue. We've managed that waiting time. The line moves fast. The weight limit for this exhibit on our sign that's posted is 175 pounds, and I'm closer to 225. It will lift more than that. It just takes a little longer. For me, it's about 36 seconds. For the average kid that rides this, it'll lift them up in about 12 to 15 seconds. So the throughput is very good on the exhibit. And the museum's busy. There's a queue of kids. It goes up and down as fast as the kids can move through the line. So it could easily see 500, 1,000 cycles in a day if you have a busy institution. So with that in mind, we made the exhibit so that it would be easy to service. Any exhibit that gets this kind of use, everyone knows is going to have consumable parts. The buttons will need replacement eventually. The seat belt will need replacement. If you look very closely, you can see here we've made this a separate panel that comes off. This is a separate panel that comes off. We've made that operation very easy. If you need to put a new seat belt on it, it's a 10-minute operation, and this part of the seat belt is like a $10 item. This will wear out. Eventually the buckle will wear out, but it's very easy to service. The exhibit has safety features built in. It has a microcontroller that controls the chair. It knows that the seat belt is buckled. It knows that the door is shut. So now it's waiting for me to push the buttons. And you'll see how quickly it lifts now. Now if there were a small, 5 or 6 year old child in it, that's the rate at which it would lift. Nice thing about this exhibit too is it does have limit switches on it. It doesn't run for X amount of seconds, or it will lift you up into the top, and then it will let you down, and it will lift for up to 60 seconds. We do recommend the weight limit 175 pounds. One of the reasons for that is it discourages people from trying to put 2 people in here at one time. Another good design feature for this is, and again, I weigh 225, I can come in and I can buckle the seat belt and it fits pretty good. But we want to discourage visitors from trying to put their child in their lap and do it. Because if you're controlling the exhibit and your kid's in your lap, then you don't have control over your kid, and that creates a situation that could be dangerous. So we've tried to design the thing to discourage that. Now, the descent is dampened by the main piston. It's also dampened by pneumatic dampers built into these side tubes. In the event that there was any type of failure or leakage or whatnot up above, we have redundancy built in, because redundancy is the secret of safety. So there's redundancy here in that the buttons need to be pushed, the buckle needs to be buckled, the door needs to be shut. A lot of thought went into the design of this exhibit.